Hello, I'm Chris St. Hilaire. As always, I'm here with Master Chung. Welcome, sir. How are you?
Very good.
We were talking, in the past, we've talked about wealth. And in the Western cultures, obviously, you know, in almost all cultures, the goal is to make money, right? To gain material, to be successful in your career and whatever path you choose. Here, I've gotten requests from viewers to ask you about that. How do you view money and seeking to rise in your profession, be at the top of your game, etc.?
You ask the Buddhist view or you ask my personal view?
Are they one and the same?
I don't know. In the monastery, in the Buddhist temple, most monks have hold the vow of poverty. So when I came out to in Orange County and work with people, I realized that management is a very important thing. And then I realized slowly, because I no longer stay in the monastery with the monks, but I stay with another monk, but with the community around me. And I realized that how important the word managing is. And it actually become a term that we slowly, the Buddhist monks, I learned slowly how important that to manage. It's not to control, but to manage is to understand clearly the nature of whatever we do. And that become a discipline, actually a discipline in Buddhism, that whatever we engage, we understand deeply and we gain the skill in means. Skill in means meaning the skillful means, the ability to, whenever we do anything, we realize what we do, we be able to see the nature of it, understand the growth of it, and therefore we know how that growth would lead to, for example, plant a tree, plant a little tiny seed down. But we know how the tree would grow, and so we manage it and make the growth to be the most effective. So, and therefore our view or my view about money is not about being rich or doing that, but how do you manage that like a tree, not a money tree? How do you manage it and make it into a wonderful tools, and that go with your mission.
Okay.
So you need to have a mission, so the money or the financial base will support that mission. So in other words, instead of saying, okay, let's go out and make money, we say, what's your mission? And as you have owns everything, whatever you own, if you're not aware of it, they will own you. And therefore, when you say you own money, you be careful, because money may own you. Your consciousness didn't realize that. With certain degree of blessing, meaning the wisdom, we have certain degree of material wealth that we need to use it. To do what? What do we do with the wealth? The wealth is like the base for us to grow community around us. Mm-hmm. And to grow community is the most spiritual thing in our Buddhist practice. We don't want just to be enlightened, we want to help others to be enlightened, and therefore we need to build community. But to build community, we need wealth, we need material, we need money, we need all kinds of things so the community can use it. And therefore what it is not about money. It's about a mission and how you use money to it.
You've watched me grow businesses over the years, and I've asked you, is it a good time to exit or leave, right, or should I be growing my business? And I've asked you how I should think about it. Consistently through time, you've encouraged me to continue growing my business. Why is that?
Because it's also going with your mission and your awareness. If you have a higher level of consciousness, then you need to expand that consciousness to influence others. And to do that, you need to have means. You can build a very small and skinny building, but to a certain degree it will fall. And therefore you need to build a base. And the base is material, is wealth. And therefore you need to grow your business, you need to grow that influence, that power. But that always go with your degree of consciousness. And the degree of consciousness is also the degree of your selflessness. How much selfless, how much the degree of passion and empathy, how much you care for the community, how much this money or this wealth will be channeling into helping people.
So as you make money, as you grow your consciousness and you grow your wealth, you're saying you'll have more of an ability to channel it in toward the light, in the right directions?
Just the right direction. At the end of the day, you see that material and spiritual, there's just one. There's non-duality. There's just one. And so sometimes the material is too much and you just cannot manage it. It will control you. What you own controls you. So you have to be growing your consciousness more than just growing money. So usually our desire and our selfishness, we just want to have more money, more money, more money. But maybe we're not fulfilling because we don't have the mission and we have the awareness to manage it and to help bring all this money into growing the community around us. So there's less and less people talking about how the money and the community, how they're so intertwining, the growing the community around you. You build a big company, but what does that mean? That means you help so many people have jobs. Mm-hmm. And they in turn helps their families. Nothing wrong about it.
Right. And though a lot of us, when we reach money or we get money and fame very quickly, are there times when we're not ready for that wealth?
Oh, very much. A lot of time we're not ready because each of them had their own growth. Our consciousness had the growth and the money also had the growth. So they have different light of development, different light of growth, and they are not the same. They're not one and the same. They correlate a little bit here, a little bit there, but their own growth. Because of that, I always say that you have to be careful of what you're growing. If you grow your empathy, then your empathy will slowly, but surely will grow. But if you grow money, yeah, money will grow. But can you manage it? If your consciousness is not ready, then it's overwhelming and it will destroy eventually your life.
How do you make your consciousness ready?
To make the consciousness ready, you need to empty your selfishness. To empty your selfishness, meaning you need to dedicate and have a very clear mission, and you know that whatever you do is to serve. All the money go in and go out, go on one hand, go on the other hand. You slowly, you'll realize that you become a conduit. And when you think that you are a conduit, then you become a conduit. When you become a conduit, then that's when you see it's ready. All the money can go through you, and you know that it's going to go to help this, to help that, to build this and build that. And that's how the influence grow. And yet, if you self-efface, you are not hold on to it, then it does not destroy you. Does it make sense? Consciousness? How do you empty your inside, your selfishness?
It does. In previous episodes, we've talked about having a mission.
Right.
And when you develop that mission, and that's to develop the light or something positive, then the money will have less control over you. Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much. But that mission, people mistaken that mission is to make money. No, the mission is not making money. Every mission is about goodness, building goodness, and use the money, use the wealth to help that mission.
And
the confusion that most people or young people now they ask me is they always think the mission is to be wealthy. They didn't realize that wealth is to serve a higher mission, and the higher mission always empty of selfishness.
And so when money is the goal, money for money's sake, what does that do to a person? What do they become?
Powers destroy powers, absolutely.
So do you believe that absolute power destroys absolutely?
Yes, very, very careful about that. And that's why we always need to learn meditation, learn how to empty the selfishness, how to grow our consciousness, and therefore understand how we manage money, wealth for a good purpose. And good people can always do that. But if we're not aware of how monies grow and grow faster than our ability and our awareness, then most of the time that wealth will just simply overwhelm and takes over our life.
So if I want techniques to help me better manage money, how better to think about money, and so it guides me on as I develop my mission in life, what would you say?
What you say, you means that don't need to go to Yale, get an MBA, and go to be a Buddhist. That's what you say?
Is that your journey's not that too far off? But the question I'm really asking is, how do I think about money along the way, and when do I know it's the right time to put it to work to create those positive things you talk about?
I think if you focus really on the mission, you focus squarely on the mission, you build such a strong consciousness of what you want to be, then it's very naturally that you know how money will fall into the right place, how you do it. But the more you focus on growing the money, maybe that's not the right direction. So grow your consciousness about your being. Grow your business around that mission. And then you can see and start to bring all these lines, all the wealth into that direction, rather than focus on all the other. Does it make sense to you?
Very much, very much.
Yeah.
And it's a good way to think about things.
But the consciousness of your mission and your being is so much lacking, because we are so much into, okay, let's get rich here, let's get rich there, let's buy lottery here, let's buy lottery. The consciousness is drowned because we are get ourselves into the greedy path, quick rich, quick fix, everything quick, and therefore you forgot about the mission.
What I experienced, though, and we're coming to an end, and this might be the very good last question, there's this tendency to compare ourselves, right?
Oh.
And money is a good measuring stick from a lot of people's perspectives.
Right.
So how do you keep from comparing? Because there's always going to be someone with more wealth, more money, more power.
That's a difficult question, and I think we should dedicate a little bit more time for it, because it's about culture. It's about the values that we are growing up with. So sometimes you have very strong family value. You know that doesn't matter what people say, you're going to drive this car and you're going to have this house. It doesn't matter. But there's so much people around you in the culture that's so much comparing and so much talking about money and money and money and the movie and all this, then suddenly you lost. And therefore, the appropriate question is, how do we build a culture to support you, to support the young people, to support people who are now get into that path and find the mission.
And I think that's a good way to end, and we've also got a topic for another episode.
Okay.
So thank you for joining us. Appreciate it as always. Take care.